Hi, I'm PT Patty. Today we're going to be going over some stretching that I myself do after I go for a walk or a run. And this is just to stretch out all the hip muscles and leg muscles that we use while we are walking or running. So we are going to use a chair today. That's all you'll need. Or if you don't want to use a chair, you can use the wall as well when we come to a standing position. So first go ahead and have a seat, and you're going to cross your right ankle over the left knee and sit up nice and tall. And we're going to lean forward, leading with the chest, keeping your head upright so you're looking at the wall in front of you, not looking down at the floor, because then that will round the spine. And we're going to hold for a good 20 to 30 seconds with our stretch. If you would rather do some nice deep breathing, you can take 3 slow deep breaths. This is to stretch out the piriformis muscle on the right side. If this is too difficult for you, a variation of this would be to sit upright, bringing that knee up towards the left shoulder. So I'm going to demonstrate that variation on the other side. So go ahead and uncross that right leg, cross the left ankle over the right knee. And again, if you are unable to get to this position, you can just bring that knee up and over, angling it towards the right shoulder. So either you're going to sit up nice and tall, lean forward, leading from the chest, or bringing that knee up towards the opposite shoulder. And again, taking 3 slow deep breaths, or counting to 20 to 30. And go ahead and release that knee down and uncross. And it's going to come up to a standing position. We're going to start to stretch out the front of the hips and the thighs and the front of the legs all the way down into the shins. So you're going to take your leg up on the right leg up on the chair. If you have knee problems, instead of having the knee on the chair, I would actually bring it off of the chair a little bit. And then step forward with the left leg. And rotate both of your hips forward. Tuck your tailbone underneath you slightly. And you should feel a little pull through the front of the right hip. So try to imagine that you're bringing the right hip slightly forward. If you need to bend that left knee, I've got short legs, so I don't really need to bend that much. But if you're taller, you probably need to bend a little bit more or take a bigger step forward with that left foot. And again, we're holding for a good 20 to 30 seconds or 3 slow deep breaths, and you should feel that maybe even into the front of the thigh. And if you're a little off balance with this, you can grab onto the chair or a wall next to you. And now we're going to bring our foot onto the chair. So the front of the foot is on the chair. And then again, come forward with the left leg. Tuck that tailbone underneath you. Rotate both of your hips facing forward so they're square to the front. And you should feel this more into, again, the front of the hip, into the front of the thigh, and down into the front of the shin. And holding for a good 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds, or 3 slow deep breaths. And now let's go ahead and switch over to the other side. So we're going to take the left knee onto the chair. Again, if you have any knee issues, bring the knee off of the chair. Step forward with the right foot. Rotate both of your hips facing forward. Tuck that tailbone underneath you. And bring that front of the left hip forward. Or you can bend that front knee. Keep that trunk upright, so there should be no leaning forward. Feel that through the front of the left hip, maybe down into the front of the left thigh. Again, holding for a good 20 to 30 seconds or 3 slow deep breaths. And let's bring that left foot onto the chair. So the front of the foot is onto the chair. Your foot is pointed. Come forward with that left or right leg. Again, square those hips to the front. Tuck that tailbone underneath you slightly and shift your hips slightly forward, especially the front of the left hip. And you should feel this a little bit more into the left thigh and into the front of the left shin, lower leg, front of the ankle maybe even. And if you need to bend that front knee, the right knee a little bit, feel the stretch a little bit deeper. When you're stretching, keeping in mind to only stretch to light to medium and not going to the medium to heavy. Avoid injuries. Also trying to do these stretches after you've had a warm-up such as walking or running. And let's bring that left foot off of the chair. And then we're going to turn around using the chair to stretch out our hamstrings. So you're going to take your right foot up on the chair, toes up towards the nose, and square both of your hips facing forward. Tuck that tailbone slightly, lift the chest, flex the foot toes up towards the ceiling or towards your nose, and hinge at the waist, lead with the chest. I can already feel that into the back of my right hamstring, also into the back of my calf. And your gaze is forward, so you're looking forward, not down, so we don't want to be rounded like this. So we're stretching safely and effectively without causing any back issues. And if you need balance here, use the chair. And let's switch and do the other side. So left foot up on the chair. If the chair is too high for you, you can use a step stool. And again, square your hips to the front. Make sure there's no rotation there. Up nice and tall with the trunk. Hinge at the hips here at the waist, leading with your chest. Your gaze is up at the wall in front of you. Toes are up towards the ceiling or toes towards your nose. You should feel this through the back of the left hamstring. Down maybe even to the left calf. Hold for a good 20 to 30 seconds or 3 slow deep breaths. And let's bring that left foot down. So now we're going to stretch the outsides of our legs, those IT bands that run all the way from here down past the knee. And again, you can use the wall if that's better for you. And I'm just going to demonstrate with the chair. So you're going to take your right leg behind you. And square your hips to the front. Lift your right arm up and bend to the left. And you're pushing this right hip kind of out to the side there. I'm going to turn around here because sometimes if you're really flexible, you might need to make a wider stance and have the right leg behind you still, but then bending that front knee and then going up and over. But you're still rotating those hips both facing forward and kind of jutting that right hip out to the side. So you're either like this or the other way. And again, making sure your trunk is upright and not down and forward. And let's do the other side. So I'm going to demonstrate from the front. Bring your left leg behind you, and either legs are crossing together or make it more of a staggered stance with the bend in the front knee. And square your hips to the front. Bring that left arm up and over, bend to the right, and stick that left hip out. And again, stay upright in the trunk, not leaning forward. Taking nice deep breaths, 3 of them there, or counting 20 to 30. And bring that left arm down, uncross the legs. And last thing we're going to stretch are those gastroc and soleus muscles at the lower leg there in the calf. So we're going to bring your, again, I'm using the chair, you can use a wall. Right leg behind you. And kind of come into a lunge position here. So you're going to bend that front knee, the left knee. Extend that right heel down. Rotate those hips forward. Keep your trunk upright. And lean forward until you feel a light to medium stretch into the back of the right calf. Again, holding for a good 20 to 30 seconds. There are 3 slow, deep breaths. And then bring that right knee slightly in. And then bend that left knee and the right knee. You should feel that a little bit deeper into the calf there, into the Achilles tendon, into the heel. Keeping your trunk upright. And let's go ahead and switch to the other side. So left leg's going to be back behind you. Right leg is bent, like a lunge position. Square those hips to the front. Keep your trunk upright. So if you are using the wall for support, your hands are up here to keep you upright here in the chest. And lean forward. You might even feel this a little bit into the front of the left hip. I really want you to feel that into the back of the left calf as well. So if you don't, you might need to make a bigger step back behind you with that left leg. That left knee is straight. A few more seconds here. And then bring that left leg in a little bit. And bend both the front leg and the back leg. So both knees are bent. Still stay upright with the trunk. Hips are forward. And again, 3 slow deep breaths or 20 to 30 seconds. And there we go. So hopefully you enjoy these stretches that are good for all of the muscles from the hips down to the toes, and they will hopefully help to prevent some injuries from walking or running. Enjoy.